Hi, my name is Jennifer Duhan. I'm a freshman this year, and I'm an architecture major. And I did the Crossing Borders New Student Dialogue. Um, in my group, I felt that I don't know. I felt that I learned a lot by meeting by being able to reach out to people and connect with them based on my experiences with like traveling abroad and just traveling throughout the country even. And I thought it was interesting that there are so many international students here, and I didn't realize that they were so prominent, like such a prominent community here of students from like China, and I met people from like Poland and just from everywhere, and I didn't realize it was so diverse as it actually was. But in my student dialogue, um, I felt that in talking in a large group the way we did was not very. I felt like people didn't really respond very well because no one really knew each other, and everyone was kind of afraid to like start a conversation because the group was so large. And I feel that maybe with smaller groups it would be more productive because people would be more likely to talk and interact with each other. And I think some of the main points that were made in my dialogue were that we make these like that we don't realize that there's so many minorities and like not well so many different like ethnic groups around us, and people, even when there are people, make like just like huge generalities about the groups based on stereotypes they've heard just around, or that have just been like even old ones, or just based on events that have happened in those countries, or like largely televised events that have happened that we've heard about here. And it seems that we form our opinions based on those things and not the people we actually meet from there. We just we come into when we meet them, we just come in with these just these really big stereotypes, and we like assume that just because we've heard one thing about a group of people, we just assume that that's the way everyone is. And I think that the group helped me realize that we all do it, and I do it, and it helped me realize that how deep those generalities go, and how the media really affects how we see groups of people and how we see individuals even. Like for example, we talked about how in Africa, um, there all we really hear about is genocide and war and just really bad, like horrible, really bad, impoverished like situations and stuff like that. And when in reality, that's not all of Africa. And we also tend to think, was what some people were mentioning, I heard in the group, was we tend to think of Africa as like its own country when it's really like a continent. And there's so many different countries there and different communities and different like cultures, and we just group them together because we've never really like taken the chance to just like understand each of the cultures in Africa. And although they are similar in certain aspects, they're all like very different economies, different histories, and just it just seems like we just group them all together because of like the way they look or the way what we've heard, like. And it seems that we've heard things about like Uganda and Rwanda, and just those horrible things, like the horrible genocides they went through, and like the bloody rivers and just stuff like that, like from the wars and just all those horrible things. And we just assume that all the other countries there are experiencing the same things. And when truth, that's not the situation there at all. It's like countries like just like other countries there, they're like farther north and stuff like that, are like have great economies. They're like highly developed countries, and they just get grouped together with these other countries just because that's how the media portrays Africa as a whole, it feels like. Um, I also feel like from this new student dialogue, I learned to go deeper and go deeper into the stereotypes and understand how they form and where they came from, and it would help break them. It helps it really helped me break down the stereotypes and realize how ridiculous they were, in all honesty. And it helped me to broaden my horizons, I feel like, and go in with an open mind when I meet new people. And it kind of opened up my eyes to things that you never really think about yourself. It's just something that just happens. It just subconsciously happens when you meet people, and you never really question it or just think about why you think those things automatically. So it really helped me to try and understand why I feel certain ways when I meet certain people, and how to go in with more of an open mind, and how to understand different people from different countries, and how they're for majority just like us, and that we also have stereotypes that people see in us from other countries that also may not be true. And help me understand that I feel hurt when people think of us as a whole that way, just because we're represented in one certain way. I feel like if people if people hear about some bomb or something that's happened here, they would it's the same thing as them assuming that we're all that way, which is it's really hurtful to me if someone were to assume that. And so it helped me turn it on the flip side, and how they must feel when we just assume that an entire group of people is one way just because of a certain event or a certain person. So I thought my new student dialogue was really interesting and really eye-opening, I thought. Thank you.